Hey, what's going on, guys? Joel back with you for another video here on the Snap-on Tool Review. Today I thought I would do things a little bit differently, and in my last day in the life videos was the engine removal re-and-re, and one of the first jobs that I had done that day was a brake fluid flush, and I had a couple of comments about why would I do a brake fluid flush. Now, I do feel like this is one of those topics that I think that we should talk about and then get your guys' feedback. So at the end of the video, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below, and we can have a full open discussion about preventative maintenance, more importantly, brake fluid flushes. So,
drinking sangria, nachos, lemon heads, my dad's boat. You won't go down cause my dick can float. We sail around the world.
I went ahead and bought a brake fluid tester. Now you can find this on Amazon. It's less than $10. I will put a link in the description to the brake fluid tester. There are several different ways to test brake fluid. Now, one of the reasons that you test brake fluid is for moisture in the system. A lot of people might argue, why would there be moisture in a brake fluid system when it should be a sealed system? Now, one of the biggest reasons for moisture to be in the brake fluid system, I've always been taught that brake fluid is a hygroscopic fluid, meaning that it can absorb moisture. Now, how do you get moisture inside a brake fluid system? Obviously, you could have a faulty brake fluid reservoir cap. That would probably be a pretty good reason to have moisture in the system. Another thing is, by overheating brake fluid, you end up boiling the brake fluid. Now, what happens in brake fluid when it boils? That becomes air in the system, and then air can obviously attract moisture and stuff like that. And you end up with a huge fucking problem. That problem is brake fade. With moisture in the system, it also attracts rust and stuff like that. Rust, we would all think in a brake system, is something that you do not want in the brake system at all. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the brake fluid tester, and then we're going to do some real world testing and hopefully a brake flush today, so I can show you the before and after readings from this brake fluid tester. So I'm going to show you. This is the brake fluid tester that I ended up buying. Again, I said it's less than $10 on Amazon. Now, how this works is, let's get rid of that. So I'm going to show you how this works. I've already put the battery in it right now. When you put this into brake fluid, it essentially reads the moisture content level inside your brake fluid. Don't ask me how it does it. I'm not a fucking scientist. But it does it and it works. I'm gonna go ahead and we are gonna show you how this thing works. All right, guys, so here I got a 2010 Caravan with 141,000 kilometers on it, and we are gonna check the brake fluid in it to see what level of moisture is in it. So, just like I showed you before, take the lid off the tester, turn it on, and whoa, straight up. More than 4%. We can even do that again just so you guys see it. Here it reads 0. Straight up. So it's reading more than 4% moisture inside that brake fluid system. So I am going to go ahead and recommend a brake fluid flush on it, and then we will go from there. If I can get the brake fluid flush, then we'll retest it and go from there. Okay, so brake fluid flush has been sold. For this test, I'm going to be showing you guys, we use a product called BG. Now this is just .4 ultra dry brake fluid by BG. So we are going to do a little bit of a control test first. We're going to pour a little bit of brake fluid into this dry cup. Show you the brake tester as far as any moisture in the brake fluid straight out of this sealed bottle, and then we will flush the brake fluid before and after, and we'll show you the difference. So we're gonna fully sealed, we're gonna crack it open. Just gonna pour just a little bit into here. Seal that back up. Turn the tester on. So we got less than 1%. Fully submerged. Show that to you guys again so you guys can see that. Less than 1%. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to flush the brake fluid system. I'm going to show you the flusher that I use, and we're going to test it before and after. So the machine that we use here is a BG machine. Now this one will apply pressure to the brake fluid system, and it will also suck brake fluid from the calipers themselves. Now I don't use that feature. All I do is I put brake fluid in the chamber and basically just run pressure straight to the reservoir, and then I just let it gravity bleed from the calipers themselves, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So, all right, let's do it. So you gotta find the right adapter for the reservoir. Open up the hose, and then it's gonna apply roughly 20 PSI to the braking system, and just check for that we're not leaking out of the seal, and then we're gonna put it up in the air and flush from the calipers themselves. So you can see here with 20 PSI applied to the braking system that there actually is pressure applied to it. The brakes are actually applied right now through the actual brake flush machine. So what I like to do is crack open the bleeder, and I put this onto the bleeder so I can actually watch the fluid color physically change. That way I know that we've already flushed out the old fluid and now the new fluid is coming out. So this is what we're going to do right now. So just crack the bleeder open and just let the fluid drain through. Tighten up your bleed nipple, and then repeat the process obviously 3 times. So once you feel that you've sufficiently flushed all the old shit out of your system, or we went through pretty much the entire bottle. It started here and we went all the way down to there. So it's roughly just a little under a liter that we flushed through it. Then you should be good to go. Lower it back down, and we will get the after reading for the moisture content in. So with this machine, you gotta disconnect it from the air. We are running air through the system. Relieve the pressure. So So that's going to relieve all the 20 psi that we have running through the system. And then we can close this line off, unplug it, and we should be okay. The level should be pretty much close to perfect. We can actually check it. So now we are within range. We're less than 2% moisture content inside that brake fluid reservoir. So the last two things that I do like to do is make sure that this seal is good, because this is obviously where outside contaminants and air and moisture can get into the system. So I make sure that this seal is all in good shape. It's not expanded with oil or anything like that. So we look pretty good. And then the last thing I like to do is clean off the reservoir, so that if the customer looks at it, they know that they just paid whatever it was, $80 for a brake fluid flush. Then they know that they've gotten something done. They can physically see that it's a lot cleaner. So I just spray it all off with brake clean. Again, that seal's good, so we're not getting any brake fluid or brake clean into the reservoir. So I just clean everything off, make it look good. And there you have it. It looks nice and cleaner than it was before. And now the customer should be sufficiently happy when they open up their hood and they see that yes, the brake fluid flush was performed. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video on the brake fluid tester. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys flush brake fluid? I know there are some people out there that just don't believe in the whole thing, think it's snake oil. I'm going to tell you right now that it's not. This is definitely one of those services that I 100% believe in. So I definitely want to hear you guys' feedback on this. Do you flush brake fluid, yes or no? Why or why not? I think it's a great tool. For under $10, I think it's gonna make you guys a little bit of money. Again, I will leave the Amazon link in the description to this brake fluid tester, as well as a couple other ones. Other than that, guys, remember to check out my Instagram page, Snap-on Tool Review, Facebook, Snap-on Tool Review. So remember to also check out the Patreon page. That Patreon page seems to be doing all right, and that's just another way to support the channel as well. Obviously, there are a couple other perks in there. Getting my videos 24 hours in advance. We also have a couple other little features on there that you guys can pick through for as little as $1 a month. Sorry about the fucking noise in the background. People just don't know when to stop. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to comment, like, share, subscribe, and peace out, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.
On your life vest, let's drop anchor. There's a nice lady who I like to spank her.